Good morning. Happy Thursday, everyone. Whew, time is just flying by every single week, and I cannot believe it's already Thursday. Anyways, today I want to talk about the topic of liberating myself from self-made inner prisons, because that's exactly how I've been feeling all week this week. First, we started off, I touched on this earlier during my Rise and Shines this week. I talked about how I finally broke out of this toxic cycle of chasing and striving and putting my happiness and fulfillment on the other side of success, somewhere in the future. And even though I knew that concept like intellectually, conceptually for a while now, but it wasn't until about like Monday or Tuesday this week that I finally like felt it with my body, what that looks like, what that means to finally experiencing a sense of fulfillment, a sense of joy, a sense of unconditional happiness and satisfaction right here and right now. So, and I realized that struggle, that sense of unfulfillment really is self-made. It's the meanings that I have assigned to certain situations that happen, certain circumstances, certain events that show up in life, and we are massive meaning makers as human beings, right? Something happens, it can be a neutral event, but then we assign meanings to it. And it's the way we assign meanings to circumstances and situations that create the suffering, that create a sense of lack of freedom, right? That creates a sense of we're stuck here, when in reality it really just is. Like it is what it is, right? It's the meaning that we assign to situations that creates the problems, that creates the suffering. And by simply choosing to accept and surrender to the event as though it is what it is, that's when we experience a sense of liberation that comes from within, that's not dependent on circumstances. So that was the first inner self-made prison that I felt like a liberation from. And then today, as I'm speaking to you, for the longest time, I struggle with, the sense of the definition of beauty. What does beauty looks like? And this is like a deeply ingrained societal conditioning that were built into me, right? Based on that, define what beauty looks like. Oh, you gotta have perfect skin. You gotta look a certain way. You gotta be a certain body shape. And I really picked up on that, growing up. So I started creating this internal conflict with myself that every day I show up on these Facebook Lives, like I do my interviews, I do my show, Blossoming Into You. And then I had this internal conflict of like, some days I just don't want to put on makeup. Like some days I just don't want to put stuff on my skin, especially like right now. I'm having like the eczema flare-ups, and like my skin hated it. Like my skin didn't want to put on any makeup, but then like I did it anyways because I was trying to look a certain way to be presentable, because somehow I was not accepting the way I was looking because my skin decided to purge some sort of toxin, whatever it's going on, I don't know. I just gotta accept, I just gotta surrender. So today I decided to come on like really no makeup, and I feel I'm more and more able to experience a deeper sense of beauty. Like I feel good right now, even though, I may not look like I have perfect skin right now, but I feel okay. I feel like a deep sense of peace with myself, with my skin. And, this whole concept of I gotta look a certain way to please people, to seek validation, to seek approval, like that way of living, it's not liberating. Like it's like I'm constantly tied to the opinions of other people, and I'm done with that. Like I'm done with that. And I am the one that get to decide what beauty feels and look like to me. I get to embody a deeper sense of beauty that can only be radiated across based on my essence, based on my presence. It's not no amount of makeup, no amount of the clothes I wear, the way I do my hair can really portray, but it's my energy, it's my presence, right? And when I'm solidly, deeply connected to this truth, I know I show up as beautiful regardless of whether or not I have like eczema, flare-ups, like skin everywhere, like on my chest. It's terrible, but it's okay. I accept it. I'm learning how to love it. I'm learning how to surrender into it, understanding that all perceived challenges or struggles or anything that you're battling with right now is just temporary. It's temporary. It's a mind that goes into this conversation of like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be like this forever. Like, I hate this. That's where my mind went when I have these like flare-ups. And even though that's not the reality, right? The reality is that the body is constantly like healing itself, is constantly repairing itself, and I know this is not gonna be forever, but my mind went there, and that's what created the stress, that's what created the suffering. So it's just so interesting how much of the suffering we go through every single day is self-made. It's the meanings we have assigned to situations and circumstances that arise, right? I give an example of money. If you don't have enough money, if there's like $0 in your bank account right now, we make up all these meanings about it. We make up these meanings like, oh my gosh, that means I'm not good enough. That means I'm a failure. That means I'm gonna die tomorrow. But in reality, it's just a number in your bank account, right? You're still sitting here. You're still listening to me. Your heart is still beating. You're still breathing. You are still alive. And there's an infinite possibilities that exist in this moment that we can choose to focus on. So there's a lot of deep wisdom here that I hope you guys are picking up on, and feel free to go back and listen to this again. I am just every single day, I'm coming back more and more to this now moment and experiencing truth that's beyond the chatter of the noisy mind, the egoic mind that constantly is looking for trouble. It's constantly looking for ways to feel stress or fear about. And the more we can come back to this moment and be grounded to the presence, like this powerful energy that surrounds us, that gives us life, that's when you can liberate yourself from so many self-made inner prisons. So let me know what's landing for you on this Facebook Live, and I would love to hear your feedback. And thank you, Simon. I received your compliment. And have an amazing day, everyone. I'll come back again at 9 a.m. Pacific time to talk about how to be fully empowered as a sexual being. So come back and join me and Courtney. I'm bringing on Courtney as my guest, and we're going to have a juicy topic and conversation. All right, have an amazing day, everyone, and I'll see you in a bit.